in the northwest. It was amazing because you go from it being chilly but not cold, walking from Lancaster to Morecambe, and then as soon as you got round the front of the building of the front side of the hotel to where the outside drinking setup is, it was chilly and breezy. But it was a really, really clear day, amazingly clear day to view over to the hills of the Lake District, actually. But yeah, we did that, and then most of the weekend, I suppose, was about anticipation, wasn't it, for Line of Duty finale?
Come on, man. What's your spoiler alert? But you know that by now. So what's your verdict? Were you disappointed?
Yes and no. I think it truly delivered on the point that Jed Mercurio was trying to make, and I think it was more important for him to try and make his point about institutional corruption than it was for him to satisfy the audience with a big dramatic reveal. So, I'm pleased that we haven't got to a point where any of the big three are implicated in serious institutional corruption, even though they've all done their dodgy things along the way. So I'm pleased about that, and I always wanted that to be the outcome, and I think that that's the last time, even if they do more series of the show, which I think is very much a low chance, I would guess.
Well, I'd heard that they've been commissioned for another series.
Well, I think with the viewing figures, they'd be daft not to.
But he was commissioned at the same time as they commissioned the last one.
Right. Okay. And clearly, there's dodginess around Osborne at the top, and even with Buckles being the fourth man, he's not the.
He's a stooge.
He's not the ringmaster.
No.
He was a go-between, which he openly admitted, and it was kind of classic him that he fell into the trap of incriminating himself when he was wanting to get immunity.
Yeah. No, I think that's exactly, for me, this series has all been about the personal failings of varying team members. So not just the kind of Kelly MacDonald's character, but just Steve's problems and the kind of stuff that Ted did with the money and stuff. That's all kind of come home to roost. I do think when they come back next time, it's going to be about the institutional problems, the kind of the broader sweep stuff, the kind of things that are institutionally not historically dealt with. So that's my two penneth. When it comes back, it'll be more. This one's felt very small in terms of, it's about interpersonal relationships.
Yeah.
I think it'll be bigger and more conspiracy-like in the next series.
It'll be interesting to see how it's put together investigation-wise, because clearly they've got obstructive people in the chain of command. Even if they're not bent, they're obstructive because they want to stay in favour with the people at the top. But yeah, Chloe's the big hero, isn't she, from this series? So it'll be interesting to see if she gets an expanded role. Next time around.
Anna has a crazy theory about her, and I'm not going to say it on here, but she has a theory that she's kind of interconnected with somebody who's been in the show before.
Oh well, I've heard a lot of, is she so and so's daughter, or is she so and so's daughter, or
yeah, that kind of stuff.
But
yeah.
I don't necessarily buy any of that. But I wasn't disappointed, because it was so clear to draw the Buckles is Boris comparison, basically.
Yeah.
Ultimately. So there you go. Yeah. Next week it's David returning. So me and David will be talking about the Challenge Cup games. Make sure you get your fan views in for us to talk about. Get in touch with us at Super League Pod on Twitter and Instagram. It's facebook.com/Super League Pod, or you can send us an email to superleaguepod@gmail.com if you've got something a bit more longer form to get off your chest. Superleaguepod.com, you can find important links to all the Google Forms, how to support our sponsors and friends, and all that sort of stuff if you go to superleaguepod.com. Search for the show on Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Stitcher, Spotify, Overcast, or anywhere else you normally find your podcasts, and this one will be a fuck ton of broken down episodes on in 50-minute chunks if you can cope with that on YouTube. But please do subscribe, and I suppose we should say like rate and review and all that stuff that people say. But
That's
yeah,
what we say.
do you want to shout out to our friends before we say goodbye?
Yep. So Rob's Toy Shop, you can enter SLP discount at checkout at Rob's Toy Shop on eBay and get 5% cash back on orders over £5. Plus you give 1% of your cash back to SLP. Little Warden, vital alerts for hidden issues. Head to littlewarden.com to see what they can do for you. And Sarah's Bookcase. Sarah sells Usborne books with access to over 3,000 titles from baby to young adults. There's something for everyone. Find out more on the Facebook.
Yep, and by all means, don't do anything fucking stupid next week, any of you fucking players. Because...
Feel free.
We can't do this again.
Just be kind to everybody.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for listening, everyone. I hope you've stuck with us through it to the SLPLOD section. And we'll find something else to talk about in the wrap-up next time. We'll speak to you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, we've got a 3-hour. We haven't done one of them for a while.
Well...